It's Madden NFL 22, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Jags and the Broncos coming up next.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Denver Broncos. And off we go from Denver. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. All the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
Now Elway on first down. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
2nd and 10. To throw is Elway. And right away, he lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for the Jacksonville score. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Extra point attempt to come here. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. The run on first down gets him a couple up to the 27.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Elway. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they will finally put it into the return, but not necessarily takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. So here are the Jaguars in great field position already. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
They'll run here with Taylor. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. CD, look at this clock and scoreboard. We're less than a minute into this game, and they've already made 2 trips to the end zone.
So that means that someone's confidence is absolutely soaring right now. There's almost no slowing them down. On the flip side, now you've got to get together. You've got to talk to each other. Make sure you stay tight, stay focused as a team. Yeah, it's a quick blitz, but you can get back in this game if you don't let it get away.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
They begin with a run by Davis. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Now it's Elway. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
2nd and 8 coming up. He'll look to throw. On the slant, he'll get it to Jones.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. First and 10, Taylor now. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. He'll drop to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
A 1st down carry for Davis. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. Taylor now returning it.
Keep playing hard.
Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll come out throwing here. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now a give to Taylor. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 33.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory. Down at the 33. From the gun, it's Taylor. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. 16-0. That's the score after 1 on EA Sports. The Jags with the football to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. On the handoff, Taylor. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Let's go. Let's do this.
He's taken down at the 17-yard line.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he slides to a halt inside the 10.
1st and goal, Jacksonville.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. It's a big loss of 5 there on 2nd down to bring up 3rd and goal.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Back to throw. This is caught. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 10 yards gets him closer, but now it's 4th and goal.
Well, there certainly was a lot going on that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field.
Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is good. So when you factor in the safety, this now a 5-point swing.
And look, I'm not going to turn away a 5-point swing because 5 points, that's valuable. Don't get me wrong on this. But if they could have taken that safety and added 7 to it, now you're talking about a really big swing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Denver's offense now set to go. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Play action. Elway. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Three yards remain for 2nd down. Now a handoff to Davis. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Let's go. That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Off the play fake, Elway. He finds Smith out of the backfield. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Let's go.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. Here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. from midfield. Elway. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Steps away to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
57 Mike 57.
They'll set up a throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they?
57.
Elway now off of play action. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. Elway. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Let's go. Let's bring it.
This time they stay on the ground. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
The Jaguars ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
And this one is right down Broadway. And that one ups the lead to 22-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together.
A run there on 1st down gets 3 up to the 28. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome, everyone, to this abridged version.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3.
First up, though, a look at the next-gen stats for Jacksonville in that first half. And there were a few factors as to why they built this good-size advantage, but the rushing numbers were not all that amazing. We'll see if they can pick it up in the second half.
The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3. The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. They're going to look to throw. He'll drop this down to Taylor, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
On first down, it's Taylor, and he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down, 2nd and right at a yard. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Again, it's Taylor. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material. They'll run on 1st down. It's Taylor. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll set up to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd. They'll drop to throw. Dancing to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brady. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
2nd down and inches. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And the Jags are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Jaguars take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Here's Davis now. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. Is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Make these babies cry.
Here's Elway to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Hands it off out of the gun. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Now Elway to throw. That's complete to Sharpe.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
I got you. Play 56.
Now Elway. Quick hitter here. It's complete. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Elway will throw. Throw left side complete. That's Davis. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Again, it's Elway. Quick slant here to Smith. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Here's Elway. And it's caught. Touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown ground. And the Broncos are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. A try here for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to 22. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
On that first down.
They give to Taylor out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They go to the ground again with Taylor. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them. trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down.
Offensively, another big chunk of yardage, Charles, but defensively, they had all this talk about trying to limit explosive plays. They have not been able to do that.
They discussed it all week, but they haven't been able to execute it at all, haven't been able to find a way to slow down this offense. They're seeking answers and not coming up with any.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
And he'll be brought down with the first down after a gain of about 11 as that takes us to the 2-minute warning.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Second and 9.
On the handoff, this is Taylor. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Looking to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off at the 20. There he goes left side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. After the interception, here's Elway. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. And they turn the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized with a little bit on top.
So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the Jaguars. And that should just about do it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
On first down, it's Taylor. And he stopped immediately there.
That's it.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. They run once more with Taylor. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively a dime look, 6 DBs. Now a handoff, Taylor with it. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll run for it. It's Taylor. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Broncos will take over on downs. One last shot for Elway. He's going to let it fly. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. But, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.